Hi, Coach. Can you hear us okay?
I've got you.
Perfect.
All right. So I feel a bit like I did last night after watching the tape. The same comments that I felt from the post game interview there. So the I thought we did some real nice things defensively, especially in crucial times. The same players that I mentioned yesterday, whether it was Chris Jones on a fourth down and, whether it was a big play on the back end, the linebackers were flying around. Tranquil ends up with the 10 tackles. And I just, all the way around, I thought they took Spags' game plan and they executed it and did a great job with that. Against a team. I mean, you've got to give the Chargers credit. Their quarterback was banged up a bit, and he stuck it out all the way through and did a nice job for him. So yeah, which is a big step, I know, for Jim going going forward and building that thing. As far as the offense goes, there were some good things. There are a bunch of things that we've got to work on and get ourselves better at. And I felt like in the first half we were shooting ourselves in the foot continually, whether it was penalties or sacks or interceptions. Those are all self-inflicted wounds that you can't have and play consistent ball. They're drive stoppers. And once you take a step back in this league, the percentage of scoring go way down. So you really got to stay on top of that part and make sure we take care of business there. But the second half, we settled down a little bit, had a big play in there, mixed in there. I thought Xavier showed what he could do. He had a couple other potential opportunities there that we weren't quite able to get to him, but you got a chance to at least see him operate out there and do some nice things as one of the primary receivers. And then Kelsey had a nice day, and it was good to see that. So, which which we knew was going to happen somewhere along here. They played quite a bit of zone, so allowed Kels to work in zones, and they weren't squeezing him on that. And then Kareem, getting him into the mix, I thought was good. I mean, we still have confidence in the other two guys too. And Carson's got to hang on to the ball. That's the obvious one. He traditionally hadn't been a fumbler, but we actually saw this with Kareem when he was young. So if that's any positive to it, but he's got to figure that part out and make sure that he hangs on to the football. And then special teams wise, I thought Ariza had a big day with his punts. He did a great job of keeping the ball inside the 20, and special teams in general, I thought played well. So between Nags and Spags and Dave Tobe, I thought they had good plans going into this thing, and Nags was so positive on the sideline, just focusing in on these guys, challenging them to get rid of the mistakes, and good things are going to happen. And then Spags, I thought, did a good job of, after that first drive that they had, just kind of, hey, let's tighten this thing up and keep attacking here and do it just a little bit better. So that took place. And then as far as Rashid's injury goes, we're still testing him on things here, but so I don't have a definite for you right now, but we will get it to you. And he's not going to be available, obviously, this week. So we're going to make sure we get all the tests that need to be done, and then we'll let you know on that. So, all right, with that, time's yours.
We'll kick things off with Adam Teicher. Adam?
Hey, Andy. Understanding that Xavier Worthy's a young guy and a rookie and all that, but you guys kind of need him now. Is it realistic at this stage to expect that he could give you even more than he's giving you right now? And how do you do that? And Kelsey, I'll have a second question as well.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. I mean, we've got guys here that have experience of playing in the game. So, I mean, it's not that he's the only one, doesn't have to be the only one. So, we've got a good group of guys there that we can utilize. And, you know, we normally spread the ball around, and that's what we'll continue to strive to do.
Okay, you've got
What
three
was the other part? Yeah, go ahead.
You've got three receivers on the practice squad. Do you see any help from any of those guys, whether it's Ross, Washington, or Remigio?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't sat down with Brett yet, so I'm gonna just kind of hold off on that. But he and I'll get together here a little bit later. So
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Jesse?
Hey, Andy and Kelsey, I have a quick follow-up. Andy, Clyde is eligible to come back this week. Can you just give an update on where you guys are at with him?
yeah, again, let me get with Brett, and then we'll be able to give you more on that. I don't want to say anything now that I don't have a definite on.
Okay, and just another quick one with the Rice injury. Can you just talk about where you guys stand with Sky Moore and kind of where he's at right now?
Yeah, Sky's a good football player. He's given us some good downs. He had the one drop yesterday on the third down that he knows he has to make, but he's given us some good downs over these 4 games. So we're okay there.
We'll go next to Pete Sweeney. Pete?
Thanks, Kelsey. I'm just curious, in the light of the situation, just your evaluation as you had Juju late in camp and how he has looked in your eyes. And is he a potential guy that could maybe, if you are without Rice for a little bit, take a bigger load there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he's played quite a bit up to this point. And I think he's in good shape, Pete. And I don't think that's a problem. Pat's got a lot of trust in him, and he's still a good football player. Yeah.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Nate?
Hey, Andy, I have 2 questions as well. My first is, in light of Rashid's injury and ahead of the trade deadline, you've been through this a couple times, Andy, obviously with Kadarius Toney and bringing McCole back last year. Can you just explain what the difficulties are if you do make a trade for a veteran receiver, trying to implement that player into the offense midway through the season? And Kelsey, I have a second question.
Yeah, Nate, it would depend on who the guy is. I mean, that's the obvious. If he's got experience in the offense, then it's not too bad. But it takes somebody a little bit of time to get himself involved and get the terminology down. But it's a lot easier now than it is during training camp when they have to learn a gazillion plays. Here they just have the game week to learn, but getting on the same page with the quarterback and the timing and all that's a bigger issue normally.
And now having a chance to watch Kareem following the game, just what impressed you the most, and where do you think his role could maybe grow with more opportunities?
Yeah, so I thought he ran hard, and I thought he was pretty accurate with the holes that he hit. He did well. He had a couple receptions there, so and an opportunity for even a couple others. We had a screen there called for him. So, I think we all have a lot of trust in Kareem since he had been here, and we kind of know how he's wired, and he's been able to pick stuff up pretty quick. So I think we're okay there increasing him. I'm sure he's pretty sore today. So it's he had a lot of carries there.
We'll go next to Sam McDowell. Sam?
Hey, Andy. That last third down conversion that you had to sort of ice the game, given its similarity to the final play, third down attempt you ran in Atlanta, can you take me through what stood out on that play and what led to your execution of it? And Kelsey, I'll have a real quick follow-up.
Yeah, so man coverage slot, and that's a good man play. Very similar to the one we ran the week before. Just Travis kept it high in the right position there. So that was the biggest difference. Yeah.
I know Patrick checked to that play in Atlanta. Was that a play that you called from the sideline, or was that something he saw again in the defense?
Yeah, so it's an alert play. So it's we've got a couple things that we can do. We give him 2 calls, and he's got the primary call, and then he's got an alert to it. So, and that's the alert. Yeah, that he did. Yeah.
We have 3 more for you, Coach, and we'll go first to Matt Derrick.
Hey, Coach, a couple of questions for you. First, Wanye Morris in his second game at left tackle. Did you see some progression there? Did you see maybe knocking off a little bit of the rust? And how did he perform overall?
Yeah, listen, he did some good things. I thought the best thing he did was he battled through, and that's a good player. He was going against the majority of the time, and but he hung in there and battled and did some good things, and he's got a couple things he can learn from too. So, but I thought overall he put up a good fight there.
And this is kind of a big picture philosophical question, but passing yards are down 16 yards a game compared to last year. Run numbers are up a little bit, but this has been kind of a part of a bigger trend. I mean, passing numbers are down more than 40 yards a game from their peak. You've talked about the pendulum at times. I asked you this kind of last year. I'm kind of curious if your attitude or your kind of your position on it has changed. Do you see there's being a pendulum a bit no more towards the defenses, or are there other reasons that you see why offenses are having a hard time right now compared to the past few years?
Yeah, well, I mean, teams are playing a little bit more shell coverage on you and trying not to give up the big shots. I think the pass rush we've got some good defensive players in this league right now that are really good pass rushers. So you've got to get the ball out on time and quicker. So the routes end up being a little bit shorter the majority of the time. But and then you've also got some pretty good quarterbacks on the other hand, and you want to keep those guys on the bench. And so teams feel that if they run the ball a little bit more, they can keep those guys off the field.
We'll go next to Seren Petro. Seren?
Coach, I wonder if you could take us through the interception on Pat, maybe what he saw, what he was thinking he could do there, and maybe how he could do it differently.
Yeah, so he was trying to get the ball to Kels there just right out of the break, and he didn't see 7 back there, kind of playing almost a gray area. He was tempting you to throw it in there, and we had Xavier over the top, so that probably would end up being the throw if you were going to have a throw there.
And we'll go last to Matt McMullen. Matt?
Hey, Coach. Brett Veach won his 200th game as a front office member in the NFL yesterday. I think you gave him a game ball in the locker room. I just was curious if you could speak to your respect for Brett and what he's done here in Kansas City.
Yeah, Brett's done a phenomenal job with the personnel, and we appreciate his energy that he brings every day, and the players they see that, and they see the competition and depth that we have on the team, and how Brett goes about his business. So Pat ended up presenting him the game ball, and it's saying something when a player does that, more so than either the front office or the coach. So I think that he's got that respect. That's a tough position to be in, because you're not only bringing guys in, but you're also letting guys go. So you can be the good cop and the bad cop, and it's a tough position to balance. But he's very real with people and how he goes about his business there. So he's going to let you know kind of where and whys of what he does.
We appreciate the time, Coach. We'll let you get back to it.
All right, Kelsey, thanks.